On the economic side, bilateral trade continued to rise with a steady 1.3% annual increase. Egypt ranks among Kenya's top trading partners and is the second largest importer of Kenyan tea. You know, in Egypt, we call tea kif. You cannot really wake up in the morning without having a cup of tea. So kif is, in English, would translate perhaps to mood. So you don't get into the mood for 100 million in Egypt without having a cup of Kenyan tea in the morning. Our imports from Kenya amount to almost 14% of the total exports of Kenyan tea. The Voice of Free Africa was the first radio broadcasting in Kiswahili, was launched from Cairo in 1957. 6 years later, Egypt became the first country with which Kenya established diplomatic relations, second only to the United Kingdom. Those relations today, more than 6 decades afterwards, they show us that our brotherhood is still flourishing with ever-expanding horizons for cooperation. The last 3 years witnessed an unprecedented development and many steps to increase the cooperation between Egypt and Kenya in all possible areas, from youth, sports, and education to information and space technologies. The two countries engaged in intensive bilateral visits, consultations, and deliberations, which were crowned earlier this year with the state visit of His Excellency William Samoei Ruto to Egypt. Egypt supported the Mau Mau movement, providing safe haven to some of Kenya's freedom fighters, providing Egyptian diplomatic passports to them to allow them to promote the cause of Kenyans across the world and make their voices heard. A few weeks from now, I will complete 3 inspiring years in Kenya, through which I had a lot of joy and many, many friends. Throughout travels from Kisumu in the west to Lamu and Mombasa in the east and south, I found people with kind hearts, welcoming and sincere smiles, and strong resolve. I talked to elders who recognize the potential their youth have, and to the youth who aspire to a prosperous future for their country while remembering the sacrifices their elders gave for their motherland. The future is not for the old, however, but for the young, of which this country has plenty. As my time in Kenya draws to an end, I will always carry with me the magnificent scenes of the Kenyan savannah, the cleansing waves of its coastline, the profound taste of its tea, and above all, the cheerful smiles of its people.
Egypt's triumph over colonialism serves as a powerful reminder that the struggle for freedom, though difficult, is necessary and achievable. The 1952 revolution, which birthed the republic we celebrate today, inspired generations across Africa and beyond to pursue liberation and dignity. Kenya joins you in celebrating this historic milestone of national transformation and tremendous state building. On the regional front, Kenya and Egypt's active participation in regional frameworks such as the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, and the African Continental Free Trade Area reflect our commitment to advancing economic integration and boosting intra-African trade in alignment with the African Union's Agenda 2063. Kenya and Egypt remain steadfast in supporting multilateral efforts to promote peace and stability in conflict-affected regions such as Sudan, South Sudan, Somalia, Libya, and the Sahel. Through our active participation in the African Union and in close collaboration with the United Nations, we continue to champion African-led solutions to African challenges. Trade between Kenya and Egypt has been on an upward trajectory, with the total trade volume estimated at between 600 million and 700 million US dollars in 2025. Notably, Egypt is Kenya's second largest tea market in the world, as you have indicated. Furthermore, Kenya is home to several Egyptian businesses, while Egypt hosts a vibrant Kenyan diaspora community, comprising professionals, students, business people, and skilled workers. Kenya and Egypt share immense potential for collaboration in the tourism sector. Kenya is honored to have Egypt as a friend and a strategic partner in the region. Our enduring ties span decades of close cooperation across the fields of trade and investment, education and technical training, health, agriculture and food security, tourism and culture, and people-to-people exchanges, among others. Today also marks 62 years of flourishing diplomatic relations between Kenya and Egypt. Ours is a long-standing partnership underlined by the fact that our mission in Cairo is Kenya's second diplomatic post to be established abroad. This milestone reflects the depth of our historical, cultural, and economic bonds, as well as our shared commitment to cooperation and mutual prosperity. Kenya and Egypt have also continued to deepen their relations through high-level engagements. Most notably is the state visit by President Ruto to Egypt in January 2025. The historic visit marking the first state visit to Egypt by a Kenyan president culminated in signing of a strategic and comprehensive partnership agreement. Additionally, our two heads of state jointly witnessed the signing of 12 memoranda of understanding, further cementing our bilateral ties and elevating our relations. During his tenure, Ambassador Tia has played a pivotal role in deepening the bonds of friendship and cooperation between Kenya and Egypt. Under his stewardship, we witnessed the successful state visit of His Excellency President William Ruto to Egypt in January 2025. He also oversaw the convening of the 7th session of the Joint Commission for Cooperation in Nairobi in March 2024. Ambassador Tia notably distinguished himself as a dedicated champion of economic diplomacy. Under his leadership, business engagements between Kenya and Egypt grew significantly, as exemplified by the successful Kenya-Egypt Business Forum held alongside the Joint Commission for Cooperation in March 2024. His tenure will also be remembered for his provocative engagement, his bridge-building spirit, and his steadfast commitment to Pan-African unity and prosperity. On behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, I extend our sincere gratitude to Ambassador Tia for his distinguished service and invaluable contributions to Kenya-Egypt relations.